I recently broadcast a live actual play of my adventure, The Purple Gnome Inn, with the help of a few local friends, some of whom were experienced and for some it was their first time, and it was on a budget. We had nothing fancy, just a few spare phones for cameras and a single mic to pick up sound and record it for personal prosperity. This gave me an extreme appreciation for anyone who goes out of their way to set up elaborate studios, complete with flat-laid TVs as the maps, lighting, and dedicated audio-visual equipment to capture every moment in clarity. We were no such production. However, you have to start somewhere, and while we may not be the sharpest product out there, this was still the height of fun. It was extremely gratifying to capture the moments we had at the table with real people face to face. So with that in mind, I have collated my top 3 moments from the 3.5-hour one-shot game that I thought highlighted the good times we were having. Starting with number 1, Cunning Action Dash. Towards the end of the game, during combat, one of the player characters, Arsinoe, was on the other side of an inn that was currently burning down, far away from the rest of the party. The remaining members of the party were attempting to stop an enemy escape. The enemy NPCs were trying to run away. Now, the player was new to the game and had been picking everything up as we went really well. I was distracted slightly, tracking initiative and other combat data, and mostly seeing how it would be possible for this character to make it across such a distance in one move. I was thinking there was no way for this character to cover that much ground, to catch up to the rest of the party. But to my surprise, they were steps ahead of me.
My first action as a dash, I want to, as carefully as I can, dash through this area, jump through the window, and kind of dash towards that back door. So
Yeah.
I think that's the shortest route that I see with no flames directly in that area.
Yeah, you would be able to get, so if you run through this window, you'd be able to get to about here, just on the back end. So it wouldn't quite be far enough to get out. You'd still be in the air.
And then I can use Cunning Action Dash.
You can use Cunning Action Dash.
And I'd like to do that as well to get the rest of the way outside.
Beautiful.
Our
So-
telepathic would last for like 4 to 4 hours.
Wow!
So, Arsinoe, you actually get, with that, because your movement is 35, so with Action Dash, that's 60, 70, so it's 140 feet of movement. You actually whip through this to the fire. You almost douse some of the flames you're moving at. You can see my brain ticking over in a moment of pride as I realized they knew exactly what they were doing. Task achieved. Simply using the Rogue class feature of Cunning Action Dash as a bonus action combined with their standard action dash, they nailed it and caught up with the group. Number 2, Thunderwave Save. As a DM, I often enjoy inflicting damage to my player characters, and this moment was just that. I had 3 of my players lined up in the blast area of the Thunderwave spell my villainous NPC was casting, so I asked them all to make a Constitution saving throw. What made this funnier was 2 made their saves, one with a nat 20, but the third had a -1 to their Constitution, so not great odds for them. So, Cyril, Viola, and Nora, you need to make Constitution saving throw. So,
Now 20.
Yeah!
save it. Be the 13 Constitution saving throw. So, Viola, you...
I'm gonna make it a one. That shit.
Yeah, you have a -1.
I'm literally a 0.
Oh!
That's a 15.
Okay, Nora's, like Cyril and Nora, you plant your feet and the gust of wind and a loud boom goes through the tap. You don't move. You 2 only take 4 points of thunder damage. Unfortunately, Viola, you take another 8 points of damage and you are blasted by 10 feet back into the wall.
Now can I hellish rebuke a mother? I'm pissed as hell. I took 8 points of damage.
Good news is, despite getting a technical 0 on the roll, she was able to use her reaction to throw a hellish rebuke at the offending NPC for revenge. A good lesson on the nature of chance affecting the outcome. Number 3, the final roll. There's moments in a game I find to be the perfect culmination of events. All paths led to this moment, the ultimate roll of the dice. For context, the party is standing on a cliff's edge in the background. The inn they have been spending the game session investigating is regrettably burning to the ground. They are in grasping distance. of the last remaining enemy NPC that set the fire that is currently consuming said inn. This enemy happens to be trying to abseil down the cliff using a rope, and the character who is next up in initiative order happens to be Ilra, who has an idea to pull this NPC back up by the rope to stop their escape. I ask for a strength check, or rather an athletics check. I set the DC to 13 and watch as the tension set in while the group realize that strength is her dump stat, meaning her character is not very strong.
Going further down. Yeah, absolutely. That's a great idea. And Arsene, did you want to tell? I'll say.
Yep, that's exactly what I was going to tell her.
Great. Okay.
Snatch him.
We're going to do a strength check. So as you grab the rope, you're going to pull. He's going to pull. So there's.
Oh, wow! You roll well. That's 20, that's 20.
What else? So you want you to roll. So strength check. Let's see if we can just beat a young strapping stable boy. He's very strong. We need to beat a 13.
You got this.
We got an extra roll. Yeah, you have.
My experience is 7, but I have bardic inspiration.
So you can add a d6. If you can get a 6, you'll beat it. For that 13.
An amazing run of fortune to go from an initial failure, rolling a 10 on that athletics check, with a -3 modifier to that athletic skill, bringing it down to a 7, then using a bardic inspiration die and roll the much needed 6 to get back to a 13. It's not the wildest odds ever, but it made for a very satisfying finale. This completely changed the course of the ending. Failure meant any narrative information about the enemy NPC's intentions would have been lost, but the success allowed the party to yank that NPC back up to their reach for a vital interrogation. While it's always hard to fully translate the feeling of another person's game, hopefully this was a fun watch, and despite our low budget setup, it's all we needed to have high stakes fun. And at the end of it, that's the goal, right? Maybe one day in the future we will attempt something more polished, but if you want to run the game we played in this session, you can actually find it over at gbroadgames.com. It's called The Purple Gnome Inn, and be on the lookout for the second book, The Borders Brothers Rescue. As always, good luck and roll well.